You're watching Art Talk. I'm Jujhar Singh. In the last 1 year, we've had the best musicians, dancers, artists, and photographers on Art Talk. We've seen some wonderful and amazing art from them. But what is the real purpose of these arts? What is the connection between the arts and spirituality? We have a very special Art Talk today. The founder of the Art of Living, Sri Ravi Shankar, joins us in his ashram in Bangalore. Guruji, first of all, pronounced you and a very warm welcome to Art Talk.
Namaste.
I remember very fondly, we met a few years ago when I did an interview with you. We walked on the banks of the river
Ganges,
Ganga.
and we went on the boat too.
We went on the boat as well. Let me begin by asking you that, these days, the arts, music and dance, they're just seen as mere entertainment. But what do they do for the mind and the soul?
Art itself means appreciating what is. Appreciating life, appreciating all that expression of life is what art is.
So it has a very close connection with the mind and the soul of an individual.
If there is no soul, there is no art. It will be dead.
Guruji, the origin of our music and dance is in the Vedas, but how did it begin? Was Vedic chanting the first music, as it were?
Yeah, they observed the nature. They found the sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, the 7 notes. And each animal had one of these notes. Like ni from elephant, like pa from koel. Like this, every bird, animal in the nature singing to some rhythm, singing to some tune. And that's how the art is universal, music is universal, and it is part of creation.
Vedic chanting is an art in itself, isn't it?
Yeah. See, Vedic chants, of course, are very ancient. There is one particular Veda, Samveda, dedicated to music. And the whole art of music, the whole science of music, or you can call Gandharva Veda, is a branch of Samveda. And all the ragas are, there are 7 in Carnatic music, there are 72 main ragas of raga, raginis, what you call in Hindustani also. So it's really amazing how dance music is seen as divinity, part of divinity.
You were mentioning just now there's the Gandharva Veda, which has the theory and practice of music and dance. There's also the Natya Shastra. But let me just ask you, what is then the real purpose, if all of these are in the Vedas, what's really the real purpose of music and dance?
It's not just entertainment. Entertainment is a temporary pass of time. But the real purpose of art and music is to elevate the spirit, give you a deep experience of what reality is. I usually say, movement stretched is dance, mind stretched is meditation, sound stretched is music. You can just say sa, that is just a sound. Sa, when the sound is stretched, it becomes music. In the same way, movement stretched is dance, mind stretched is meditation, life stretched is celebration. Purpose of any art is to make you aware of the universal spirit and its expression. Everything around us is an expression of universal spirit.
If I've understood it correctly, meaning that music and dance bring that sort of calmness to the mind and spirit, which makes it fit to go into the higher realms of consciousness, to go for the supreme truth.
Yeah, you can say that way.
But then obviously I think this implies that it has to be peaceful music. It has to be classical music, not excitable music.
See, music has several modes in it. It can be used to get rid of sorrow. Music can be a way to arouse different emotions. At the peak of every emotion, there is silence, there is stillness. And that is the real goal that one is seeking for when you consider music as part of spiritual practices.
So Guruji, how should one listen to music and watch dance in order to derive maximum spiritual benefit?
People listen to music when they are driving. Okay, it gives them some relaxation. And often the music is playing, nobody is listening to it. You take it for granted. and then you keep doing so many other things. I don't think this is the way to listen to music. Music should be very meditative. It should be relaxing. You hear 10 minutes of music, then afterwards you should feel very fresh and alive, not tired and depleted. Like people, when they get into a movie theater, they are different. When they come out of the movie theater, you just look at their faces. They look so absolutely depleted. I feel music should be energizing. That is where combination of meditation and music. But the purpose of sound is to create silence within you, harmony within you. And if that has been achieved, then you have done justice to that art.
Guruji, we've talked about the main purpose of music and dance, which is spiritual, but what are the other benefits of music and dance?
Music, it is great nourisher, It nurtures the mind, it nurtures the emotions. It helps you to stay away from depression. If you are listening to music, it doesn't allow you to slip into depression. And in many ways, it can bring up those qualities of emotions, the heart. It softens one's, feelings.
It can reduce stress and blood pressure and things like this.
Definitely. Of course, it has its healing properties. Music can bring the most needed balance. See, half of our brain is music and half is logic. So if music is missing, then life becomes too dry, and then slowly people get into depression. But with music, life finds some expression, emotions get some outlet. In that sense, it's very helpful. There are many forms of arts, painting also, or playing an instrument, dance, and even arranging flowers, flower arrangements, the ikebana, and some form of art should be part of everybody's life.
We've also heard that if a pregnant woman hears music, then her baby is more likely to be sort of calmer, more intelligent, more musical.
Research has been done on this also now. Doctors have confirmed how it soothes the whole nervous system. Music calms down the nervous system. Why pregnant women, even cows, we have seen those experiments in our own Goshala here. We play music to the cows, some bhajans, and the yield has become 20% more. Cows yield more milk. And trees also, plants love music. When you play music to the trees and plants, their yield is so much better. We had such huge brinjals come out of the plant when we were playing Sanskrit chants. Lalita Sahasranam, all chants we used to play. And I usually tell the farmers, don't go with chemicals and pesticides, go to your field with a tape recorder. You will get better yields.
What kind of music do you recommend to them?
Classical music, classical music, especially Sanskrit chants. They seem to have a big impact on the plant kingdom and animal kingdom. We have seen in our own gardens, you can't believe that a pumpkin becomes so big, a huge pumpkin, just by playing music. Of course, we are giving water, and no fertilizers, no chemicals, no pesticides. Water, sunlight and music can help plants tremendously.
Guruji, I've also read somewhere that you've talked about how different musical instruments affect the chakras in the body. How does this work?
It does work. Like playing the drums, it affects the base chakra. It's so amazing. Our ancient people knew this. So the temple in the South India, the big, huge, big temples had so many doors, 7 doors, 9 doors. And they used to place this instrument in each of those doors. And you go to innermost, the sanctum sanctorium, they have the bell and the conch, the innermost. So conch and bell really has an impact on the Sahasrara and the Agya Chakra. And flute music, it has impact on the throat. And string instruments between heart and navel chakras. So different instruments are correlating themselves with different chakras.
To different chakras. But what kind of impact, what kind of influence do they have on the chakras? What exactly happens?
See, mind is all the time chattering. Chattering mind is a disharmonious mind. When a harmonious sound takes over, the chattering mind silences itself. And that's why during Aarti in the temples, what they do, they play all the drums, the conch, the bell and the singing, everything together. For few moments, the mind is free from all those cobwebs of thoughts and becomes so serene and centered. And that peace one gets in those few moments, that intuitive high one gets in those few moments, helps them to carry on the rest of the day.
There's of course this famous story about Tansen as well, that he used to sing Rag Deepak and the diyas used to light up and his body used to become warmer, and then his daughter apparently had to sing Rag Malhar, which is to do with the rain, to calm and cool down his body. I mean, can music actually work those kind of miracles?
Apparently, there are stories, there must be some truth to it. Here in South India, you would see that people used to play certain tunes, certain music, certain rags to tame the animals. There are certain ragas that they play in order to capture the snakes, tame horses, tame elephants. There must be some truth to it. Though we have lost the whole, see today that whole Gandharva Veda is not available with us. It's, the whole scripture is not available. We get only parts of it here and there, here and there. We have lost a lot of this ancient wisdom, unfortunately.
Guruji, let's take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to be asking Guruji about what is the sound of the universe. We're also going to talk a little bit further about symbolism behind